Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some products that I've been trying out recently and give you my thoughts on them. Now, the end of the year is coming up, so I will be doing an end of the year favorites, but this is just a couple of products that I've been trying recently that I just wanted to give you my thoughts on. And in this video, I do have some skincare, some beauty, and some hair care, so let's get right into it. The first product that I want to talk about is this Cerave Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser, and as you can see, I actually haven't used too much of it, but I already love this cleanser. Now, despite the fact that it is an oil cleanser, it lathers up into the most luxurious foam you have ever experienced. So it ends up being really gentle on the skin, but does a great job at cleansing the skin, does a great job at removing any makeup that's left over from the first step of my cleansing routine. Now, it says it's for dry and very dry skin. Now, I have dry skin, but my husband has oily combo skin, and he loves this cleanser too. I think this is a really good cleanser also for people whose skin is just currently really irritated, and they need a cleanser that's going to do the job without further irritating their skin. So it's definitely my favorite CeraVe cleanser, and it might actually be my favorite cleanser of all time. Another cleanser I want to talk about is the Vanicream Dental Facial Cleanser. This is another really good one to use if your skin is really irritated. I really enjoy this cleanser because it's just a nice middle of the road, cleanses the skin. It doesn't have any fragrances, any dyes, or anything like that, and it gets the job done. So just like I recommended the CeraVe one for anybody who's dealing with irritated skin, I actually recommend this Vanicream one even more because it has even less of those products that could possibly irritate your skin further. So both of these cleansers I'm loving, and they will definitely be staying in my regular rotation. I got a PR package from Vitamins and C Beauty not too long ago, and it couldn't have come at the more perfect time. At the time, and actually still so, I was dealing with a lot of rough patches and a lot of texture. And I mean, you can still see it on my skin, but it was much worse. Now, this Vitamins and C Beauty Seaweed Glycolic Acid Exfoliating Face Toner, I think was a big reason why I was able to clear it up pretty quickly. It's obviously still a work in progress, but ever since I implemented this toner into my skincare routine, I noticed a huge difference in the reduction of the roughness of my skin and also just my overall texture being smoothed out. Now, I have used the ordinary glycolic acid toner in the past, and I remember when I used it at the time, I felt that it was too strong. So I would dilute it with water, but then at some point I learned that diluting it with water could really mess up the efficacy of the product itself because that's not the way it was formulated. So I ended up getting away from that. And I think that this particular glycolic acid toner has that perfect amount that it's not irritating my skin, but I'm actually able to see results because of it. Now, I would typically apply a moisturizing toner with my hands because I don't like it to get too absorbed into cotton pads. But this one in particular, because it is an exfoliating toner and just the nature of what I'm using the product for, I do like to use cotton pads when applying this product. So of the couple products I've been trying by Vitamins and C Beauty, this is definitely my favorite and I highly recommend it. The second runner-up for my favorite product that I've been trying by Vitamins and C Beauty is this Blue Sea Kale Niacinamide Smoothing Facial Serum. And I really believe that this, in combination with the toner, they've really helped to reduce the texture on my skin. Now, I do know for a fact that the toner, I think, has been doing more of the heavy lifting because I started using that first and then implemented this. But my skin has always loved niacinamide as an ingredient, so I was happy to add this into my skincare routine. As far as the texture goes, it's your standard serum texture. It absorbs into the skin pretty quickly, so I don't have to worry about waiting so long between that and my next skincare step. I find that I can also use this serum both day and night because it wears well under makeup. Like I mentioned earlier, my skin has been pretty dry lately and I've been dealing with a lot of texture, and that typically happens as we get into the colder months. So I was specifically on the hunt for a moisturizing toner. I was hopping on Amazon and browsing around, and I happened to find this one, this Rice Ceramide Moisturizing Toner, and I really enjoyed it. It has a thick, more serum-like texture to it, and that has really contributed to making my skin feel nice and moisturized when I apply it, and I do like to apply it with my hands like I mentioned earlier. My only complaint is that there is a slight scent to it and it's a little perfumey. It's not so off-putting that it makes me not want to use it, but it's definitely worth mentioning. And I found this moisturizing toner particularly helpful when applying makeup, especially if I have, any patches on my face, any rough patches. It was really nice for me to cleanse my skin, use that exfoliating toner, and then follow up with this moisturizing toner, and then my moisturizer, and my skin was nice and prepped for makeup. All right, guys, now let's move on to makeup. And I actually have two makeup products here from Primark because they finally opened up a Primark here in North Carolina near me. So of course I had to run in there and pick up some products and try out a few things. Now, these two products that I'm going to mention today are not the only two makeup products I picked out, but these are the ones that I've I've been using the most since I picked them up. Now, the first is this Vitamin Enriched Moisturizing Primer. Now, it sounds a lot like I think it was called the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I haven't actually used that, but the name of this product, as well as the packaging, makes me think that this was created to be sort of a dupe of that product, and obviously much less expensive at $5.50. Now, this primer is definitely on the thicker, moisturizing side of primers, so if you have oily skin or even combo skin, you probably won't like this. But for me, especially getting into these drier months, this was exactly what I needed to implement into my makeup routine. Now, I typically am not huge on primer in general outside of illuminating primers, and if I do need a primer, I will typically just reach for a moisturizer, but I don't have any moisturizers in my collection that are quite this thick that I actually like to use underneath makeup. So I've really been enjoying this primer. I think it makes my makeup go on really nice and smooth. I wouldn't say it makes my makeup last longer, but it definitely helps make it look fresher longer. My only complaint about it is the fact that there is quite a significant scent to it. Again, it's this like perfumey sort of smell. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily turn down everything with fragrance, but it also is like, if it's like a light fragrance or something airy or citrusy or like natural, it doesn't really bother me. But when it's giving like perfume, like that's where it makes me scared. That's where it makes me worried that it's going to break me out. But so far so good. I haven't had any issues with it breaking me out. But again, that's my one complaint. Now, the other product that I want to talk about is their High Pigment Blusher, and I got the shade True Peach. So I typically only go for nude bronzy blushes or pink peach blushes, and in fact, the pink peach blush that I've been using all the time has been Peaches by MAC. And guys, I think that this is almost an exact dupe. So you can see the MAC Peaches is, I would say, slightly more cool toned and maybe a little bit lighter, but as far as the effect on my skin, it's pretty similar. Also, this is called a high pigment blusher, but I like that it has the perfect amount of pigment, in my opinion, because obviously I have a tan deep skin and I like for my blush to appear, but I also don't want it to be so pigmented that I'm afraid to use it, you know? There has to be a little bit of a balance there. So this one was great. I didn't have to build up forever for it to appear on my cheeks, but I was also able to, make it appear on my skin without having to work too hard. And you can still see it here. It hasn't quite faded, so that makes it, a pretty good quality blush, because we all know that blush is the first to fade. Also, $2.50. All right, now this next product I'm kind of late to the game on, and it is the Maybelline Superstay Tint. And I have it in the shade 330, which is slightly too deep for me, but we make it work here. Now, I love this skin tint. And the funny thing about it is it actually reminds me very much of the L'Oreal Hyaluronic Acid True Serum. I love that one. That's actually my favorite drugstore foundation right now. I really think that this was Maybelline's answer to that product. It is very, very similar. I would say that the biggest difference for me personally between this one and the L'Oreal one is the L'Oreal one does have a slight bit of pearl to it, making it appear a little bit more, just slightly more glowy on the skin. Now, I personally love them both. I use them interchangeably, and I also like to mix them together because the L'Oreal one I have is slightly too light. But yeah, this has been one of the best releases from the drugstore this year, in my opinion. Now, this next product I have been using for so long this year, I'm so shocked that I haven't mentioned it to you guys already, and that is the Venetian Romance Creamy Bronzer by AOA Studio. You can get this from the Miss A website, which is Shop Miss A, where a lot of their makeup is like $2 and under. Very affordable makeup. So I have the shade Canal, and this is what it looks like on the inside. And as you can see, it is very similar to the e.l.f. Putty bronzers, and this is even less expensive than those putty bronzers. If I'm not mistaken, the e.l.f. putty bronzers are $6, and these are $1.88, and they're also incredible. Now, they definitely don't have the shade range that e.l.f. does, but at $1.88 you can buy them and mix and match, and they are just really lovely. I find that it's so easy to blend out. It's not so pigmented that it's scary to use, but it's pigmented enough that it shows up on my skin and gives me this nice, beautiful bronzed look, and I am wearing it today. At this point, I've tried so many cream bronzers, and this has definitely been one of the best ones, and you cannot beat the price. So if you've been eyeing these, or if you just haven't heard of Miss A in general, go check out that website. They have a lot of really great affordable stuff, and in fact, I think I should make a video on the best and worst of Miss A, so let me know if you'd like to see that. Now, on the flip side, from these bronzers, in the same line, they actually have these cream blushes. I have the shades Tea Party and what was this one? Parasol. So these blushes aren't terrible, but I just find them to be far too pigmented, right? It's so easy to go way overboard with these, and I just don't like that in a cream blush, right? Especially when you're working on top of your other products, your other base products. You don't want to lift things up too much. You don't want to do too much to be over blending there. So I just personally find myself staying away from these. I don't even actually think I've picked them up since the first 2 or 3 times I've used them. So I don't recommend these if you don't like a super pigmented blush. All right, I've got a couple lip products to talk about, and the first is by Ravie Beauty, which is Ali Glein's new makeup line that she released this year. And Ali was so kind to send these to me to try out, so thank you so much again, Ali, for sending these over. And these are called the Effortless Lips by Ravie Beauty. So she sent over all 3 shades that are currently out for me to try, and that is Dahlia, Tulip, and Lily. And my favorite shade is Dahlia, although I have to say Tulip is definitely a close second. Now, I like these because they're very easily buildable. They're nice and shiny, but they're not glittery, and they're so easy to just throw in your purse and take with you on the go. They also fade really nicely, which is great in case you don't get a chance to touch them up. So I love this lip product, and I can't wait to see what else comes out of Ravie Beauty. I know I personally would like to see a shade expansion for this product. I would love to see like a deep plum and also a brownie nude for deeper skin tones. All right, and the last 3 lip products I have to mention are all from e.l.f. actually, and they have been releasing so many great products this year, including this Glow Reviver lip oil. Now I have it in, which one? Pink Quartz. This was actually the only one that was available by the time I was able to order it, but I am so happy with this particular shade, the one that I got. So what I like about this lip oil is it's actually more on the lip gloss side, so it's not very oily and sticky, but it's so nice and cushy and comfortable on the lips. Of course, it doesn't last forever, but it's super easy to reapply, so that's not an issue. And I was actually surprised that e.l.f. didn't come out with this earlier, but honestly, I'm not mad. Better late than never. They also released these Squeeze Me lip balms, and I have 2 scents. I have the strawberry and then I have the peach. This one's the strawberry, the peach is in my purse, and I really like these lip balms. Now, these are definitely different from the Bite Size lip balm, I think it was called. That one was a lot more thick, and they were more opaque. They had more pigment to them, the ones that were actually shades. Whereas this one, I think, is just, your standard lip balm, perfect for prepping the lips before makeup or even just to wear on its own. You do get a bit of shine, but it's not over the top with this. Not in the same way that like a lip gloss would give you. Now, I do think it's a little teeny tiny. I think that, it could be a little bigger, but it's totally fine. Makes it that much easier to toss in your purse. And the last lip product that e.l.f. released that I was so excited about are their lip liners, more specifically the Cream Glide lip liners. Now, I've been waiting forever for e.l.f. to come out with lip liners that were more than just your standard pinks and like plums. I really needed them to cater to people with deeper skin tones. I really wanted to see some browns, and they came through for us. Now, I bought 2 shades. I bought the 2 brown shades, the deepest one and the lighter one, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name right now, and the names are not actually on the pencils, and I love them. They're nice and creamy, but they don't bleed outside of the lips. They're so comfortable to actually apply and wear all day, and you can wear them both alone all over the lips or obviously with any other lip product. And the great thing about it is they're so inexpensive. So when you lose one, which lip liners are so easy to use, you don't have to worry about freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I accidentally lost my MAC cork one day, and I was so devastated because I had gotten it for 50% off, and then there it was, just gone. So I was gonna have to pay over $20 for a lip liner. So now, if that happens to me with one of my e.l.f. lip liners, I can just replace it. Let's move on to the last 2 products that I have to talk about, and they're actually both hair products, and they are both by Red by Kiss, and I'm actually an Ivy Beauty ambassador, so I've been getting a ton of products from them in PR, and I'm so grateful for that. And 2 of the products that I've recently gotten are the Hair and Scalp Oil and the Growth MD 10 times Scalp Ampoule. Now, this hair and scalp oil, and forgive me, the bottle is so gross because obviously I've been using it a lot. This hair and scalp oil I mainly use on my scalp, but occasionally I will use it on my hair as like a pre-wash treatment. So this has been really nice in between washes to help reduce that itchiness and actually eliminate it completely. Now, this hair and scalp oil is actually a combination of several different oils, including peppermint oil and coconut oil. So it's a really nice combination, really nice and nourishing for the hair and scalp. Now, this scalp ampoule is supposed to be supercharged with a lot of ingredients ingredients to help promote growth of the hair. So it contains biotin, caffeine, rosemary, and niacinamide. I haven't been using it long enough or consistent enough to see any growth results, but I really enjoyed the way that it makes my hair feel when I do apply it, and I like to use it in combination with the hair and scalp oil. So yeah, if I notice any growth, I will definitely let you guys know later down the line. All right, guys, that was all the products that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching this video. And of course, be on the lookout for my end of the year favorites, as well as a couple other videos that I have planned for you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. When it pop off, it's like, oh my